Hi, people. What would be the first thing you did if you got your hands on like $1 million? I'd pay a mariachi band to follow me around everywhere playing Pusher Man by Curtis Mayfield. And with that, welcome to episode 17 of Don't
The
Fake.
Funk. Today, special guest from Las Vegas, Surveillance 702 Token Lair from Las Vegas. What's up, motherfucker?
What's up, you badass motherfucking savages? Glad to be on your show, man. It's about time, huh?
Fuck yeah. Thank you for coming on because you just get home from work. It's like 7 a.m. in the morning there, and you took some time to get on here, you know. So thank you for.
Yeah, it's the Vegas lifestyle, man. There's no sleep for the strong, you don't look at clocks. You just know what time you have to be at work and what time you got to get out of the casino.
Fuck yeah. I mean, if you're inside a casino, you don't see the sunlight, you know. I mean,
no, you can't. Nothing.
Nothing. And I heard, I don't know if it's totally true, if it's at every casino, but they don't have any clocks in there, you know. You can't see what time.
No clock.
Because they don't want you to realize I've been here for like 10 hours, so, you know, maybe it's something.
It's 100% true. I mean, they put windows near the exits. So when you first come in, it feels all bright and welcome. But once you get inside the heart of it, there's no windows, there's no clocks. Nobody knows what fucking time it is. They want you to stay there until you cash out. Nothing.
Yeah.
Fucking sneaky.
I mean, they got a lot of tactics there, I bet. Keep people.
Oh, it's one of the tricks of the mini trades.
Yeah.
So,
Can you like ask people for the time? If you like ask somebody that works there and they're like looking at you like, buy a watch, bitch, and just leave, how does that work?
No, you know what? If you're at the tables, every dealer will have a watch on because normal dealers, they work 40 minutes on, 20 minutes off.
Oh, okay.
So they're always going on and off break. So you just got to ask them what time it is, But you should have your phone on you, A good rule of thumb is when you go down there to gamble, everybody's got an iPhone or some type of phone like that. Set a 1 hour timer. That way you keep track of what's going on throughout the time you're in the casino because it's easy to get caught up. Even as a local, there's times I've gone in a casino at 8 o'clock at night, walk out, it's fucking 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. You're like, oh shit, gotta call off.
Yeah, I once went to a casino in Spain, and I got lost on the poker machine, the video poker. You can play there, you play hand after hand, you play for 4 hours suddenly. You lost, you make some money, and then you feel like, oh, I'm gonna keep playing a little bit. Bam, you lose all that you won. Fuck it, You got to find the right moment to leave, but that's a tough thing to do,
Well, it's so important as a local too. You have to set a goal and a time limit because you could get caught up, you could get lost. It sucks too when you go into a casino as a local and you want to go play for 3-4 hours, kill some time. Might as well take advantage of the amenities the city has to offer, but. You win $300, $400, $500 or more the first 20 minutes you're there. Yeah. And it always happens to where if you stay, you're going to give that shit back and some.
Exactly. I mean, you talked about this on Flying Jew Radio. I listened to it. And you talked about how for citizens, people who live there in Vegas, it's easier because they always know they have the next day. And if you're there on vacation, you feel like, man, I'm only here for 2 more nights. I gotta make some money. I'm going to keep playing. But if you're living there, you feel like, man, I can just cash out now after 20 minutes and get some money home, even if it's not that much. But I can go the next day again, or in a week.
See, that's exactly. And I've gotten the habit of that too, to where even as a local though, sometimes on your day off, you want to go kill 3 or 4 hours. But if you walk in and hit right off the bat. You have to train yourself to just jump in your car, drive home, drop that money off, and then go back.
Exactly.
With a brand new bankroll. It's when you stay with your bankroll, you're going to lose it.
If you make $200, and then maybe a couple times a week and you cash that out, it's probably good not to get too greedy, I mean, I know that from playing poker that if you get greedy and crazy and want to keep playing, you're going to lose.
Well, another good trick for locals is like you go gamble before, because I'm a degenerate, so I gamble a lot. But so what I do is to restrict it is if I have to be at work at 10 o'clock at night, I'll leave to go to the casino at 8:30 at night. So now I'm pressured. I know I only have an hour before I have to get out.
Oh yeah.
Which will go to my advantage, especially if I'm up because I'm like, oh, I can't stay. I mean, now there's been some times when I've hit a lot and called off. But for the most part, you're like, okay, I gotta go, have to go. So you just put yourself in time limited situations so you don't fuck around and give it all back.
Exactly, man.
So there's many tricks to the trade. So getting down to this UFC 173 event, I know the viewers and listeners of Don't Fake the Funk want to hear a little bit about this.
Oh, fuck yeah. Speaking of like betting and making money, some people, if they bet on Dillashaw there in the main event, they made some big ass cash. It was like 8.5 odds for him. So
yeah, that's what Dana was saying, 8.5 to 1. I heard 7.5 to 1. You know, when I went there, I was planning on placing a bet. Now, of course, I wasn't going to bet for TJ. But when I got to the MGM, the sports book was so fucking packed that there was no way I was going to make a bet in time, you know, because I did want to see, you know, some of the undercards, and I wanted to go and fuck around and walk around. I even checked out the pool for a minute because I gave myself a little extra time because I was going to meet a buddy down there and because I was going to make some bets, but sportsbook was packed.
Yeah, let's just go back a step and tell people how you, or what, you live in Vegas and you work at the casinos actually. So how did it work out for you to get the ticket?
So what happened was I have a friend who works for Station Casinos, and the owners of Station Casinos, for those who don't know, own the UFC.
Yeah.
So my friend is a surveillance supervisor at one of their properties, and a lot of times they get comp tickets. So he had texted me on the Thursday or Friday right before the Saturday fight. It was like, you want to go to the UFC? I got tickets. I was like, fuck yeah, let's roll. So it turned out his director walked up to him and said, hey, man, I don't want to go here, and just handed him 2 tickets. So it was simple as that. Now, he's gone like 6, 7 times to these fights because of the comp tickets. But the sad part is they're in the nosebleeds because, you know, they save all the really good comp tickets for the high rollers, you know, the big ballers, shot callers. But he's told me in the past that this is my first event that I went to for UFC. So he told me in the past that he's been able to get better seats for at least, you know, the first couple main event cards. So I said, all right, let's do this. So we get there and we meet up. We go through the metal detectors. And I don't even know why they have them because I had shit in my pockets and it didn't even go off. So I don't know if it's set to only go off with grenades and bazookas. I don't know. But so we get there and there's a fight in progress. So we're in the arena and they're holding the signs up that say wait, fight in progress, because it's all on TV. There's cameras to our left, you know, it's all pay-per-view. So I'm talking to my buddy and he's like, yeah, our tickets are up. And I said, no, fuck that. Look at all the seats down. I said, as soon as they fucking put the little stop sign down, we're just going to go straight down as far as we can. So the round ended. And by that time, there was probably about 15, 20 of us waiting to get into the arena. So as soon as the guy put the sign down, I just went all the way to the bottom. And we were actually like 2 or 3 rows from, now we weren't actually on the main floor, but we were on the 3rd row from the main floor. So, I mean, that's pretty good.
That's fucking awesome. I saw the pictures you tweeted, and that's very good view on the cage, you know. The same level as the cage, so you were looking like straight at it. Very good view.
Yeah, actually, yeah. If you sit on the floor level, you're actually looking up at the
Exactly. So
I don't even think those are good seats.
Yeah.
Unless you have first row there.
If you're sitting too close, you miss all the stuff that's I guess all the stuff that's going on in the opposite space of the octagon. You know, the action goes on there. You miss a lot of stuff. I feel like maybe. So you had definitely good seats, man.
Yeah,
well, yeah, and what people don't.
Tall.
What's that?
Yeah, go on.
Unless you're like 9 feet tall, when you're sitting like in front of the cage, it's no problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, and what people fail to realize too is that every corner almost of the octagon, you have cameramen standing in the corners.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So even, you know, where we were sitting, we kind of had a cameraman in our, you know, there's really no good seats because it's surrounded. You know, the best seats are at home for sure. But as far as action and being in the moment, there's nothing like it. I mean, it was just completely fucking tremendous. You know, and we weren't on the side where the fighters come out, so that kind of fucking sucked. but we were right next to the VIP side, to where all of the other fighters came in. I think you guys saw some of my pictures of Miesha Tate.
Yeah.
I mean, she was literally 3 feet away from me. I could have jumped over, grabbed that monkey, and took it home with me. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
So there was a lot of, famous stars walking by, and everybody's giving the hugs and the kisses and the fake ass shit. I mean, a lot of them go there just to fucking gather, show their little fucking muscles off. I don't think they're really there to enjoy the actual fight.
Yeah, most of the VIPs, they don't even show up for, like, let's say the last 2 fights. They come in late. You always see.
Well, that's how we got our seats.
Yeah.
And there were ushers checking tickets, but the way we took it in authority, we just went and sat on 2 end seats, and the whole row was empty that we sat down in. Now, instead of sitting like 2 seats apart from each other to bring attention, we just sat right next to each other on the end seats. Like, these were our seats. So that didn't draw too much attention to us.
But there's no fucks like checking your tickets or whatever, nothing?
Well, what happens is if you tried to go down to the ground floor, that's where the ushers were mostly.
Oh, yeah.
So if we just stayed the 3 rows back, we were like literally in front of the ushers, but they weren't messing with us. They were looking for people who were trying to go towards the cage.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
so then during the fight...
So, yeah, you definitely did the right thing, just staying there and having a good view.
And yeah, and the thing is, we acted like we belonged there. There was cocktail waitresses walking by. One took a seat, and we started talking for about 20 minutes, because it was, prelims. There was nobody in the place. But I give props to all the people in the cheap seats, because those seats were packed. You don't see that on TV because, of course, they're always showing the main area, so. But it was just, the excitement of it was probably one of the best events I've ever been to. One of the problems I don't like about seeing it live is you can't hear Joe Rogan.
Yeah. Sometimes you don't know what's going on, right? Like, if you maybe don't see exactly what happened, or some shit that went down the fight, and you don't hear commentary, it's kind of confusing at times, maybe.
Right, and everybody knows Joe Rogan brings like this energy.
Yeah.
And the way he can speak, it's just incredible, the energy he puts out and the knowledge he drops so quickly while these savages are fighting each other. It puts you more in the moment.
Then again, you have
a lot of time
the energy of the crowd, right?
Well, yeah, when it became to the main event. Yeah, the last 2 fights, for sure, it was all crowd. You didn't need Rogan. But there was times, even in the 5th top fight, to where it was quiet at times. To where I was screaming out, Death Squad choke, just trying to get on TV, But I couldn't draw too much attention to myself because we weren't in seats. And then as the fight started going on, 2 guys showed up. And they were like, oh, you're in our seats, man. So I pulled out my ticket stub, and I was like, oh, man, we're fucking 2 seats over. So we just scooted over 2 seats. They didn't say shit. So then I think it was the fight where Varner got his fucking leg broken off.
Jesus Christ.
That's when people started showing up. So now 2 other people showed. I think it was a group of 3, actually. And they were like, oh, these are our seats. And we're like, oh, my bad. So then we moved over again. So now it's obvious that we're fucking jacking seats. People are starting to look at us. And they get pissed off because, they spend big money on those seats. So I looked at my buddy. I said, what should we do? He goes, let's wait for one more. So we knew the next time somebody came and said that's our seats, we knew we had to bounce. But that didn't happen until the Henderson fight. So right before the Henderson fight started, that's when the place packed. And we ended up going to the cheap seats, but we really had good seats on the cheap seat section. We were like on the very first row, and actually we were higher up, so you could actually look down into the octagon a lot better.
Yeah, you see it right. You see the whole octagon from top, right? You have a more overview.
Yeah, and I think it's only like an 11,000 person arena. I think that's what Dana said, something like that. So it's not like you're far away. I mean, they were selling binoculars, renting them. I don't see why you would need binoculars. I mean, unless you have shitty eyes, because I could see everything great. And, you know, Henderson is the people's fighter. You know, a lot of people talk shit about him. But when you watch him, you know, you feel like he's the underdog. And it was an incredible fight. You know, they were trying to roll with him the whole time. You know, Cormier, he wasn't fucking around. He just tried to tire Henderson out. He didn't want to get punched.
Yeah,
and people were booing. He did fight a smart fight, but also in a way, chicken should fight. You know, because he avoided getting punched. And even Henderson said he was just too heavy for me. It was too much weight, because all he did was lay on him the whole time. The crowd was screaming, "Get up, stand him up, stand him up." You know, and it happened. I think they were stood up twice. Because they weren't doing any jiu-jitsu. They were just fucking, he was just laying on him. You know, trying to tire him out, take his air out.
He was punching him, but not really the damaging punches, but he was always advancing position and going to side control, half guard and stuff, and then trying to take his back too. But yeah, Henderson knows how to defend, you know, but he just couldn't do what he wanted to do just because I think Cormier is so fucking strong, was so much heavier. I mean, just wanted to ask you, you were there in person, how was the size difference there in person of the two? I mean, on TV it looked, or on the laptop, it looked fucking crazy. The size was huge.
Yeah, you know, Henderson looks a lot smaller in person. A lot smaller.
Can you imagine? He's, yeah.
You know, on TV, he looks so much bigger with that powerful right punch he throws. So, but yeah, I would say, I think Henderson said he weighed in at 199.
Yes, yeah.
So he was pretty light anyways, probably by 20 pounds he had him by.
Yeah, at least 20, 25 pounds maybe, something like that.
Right. Yeah, I mean, no, he's a beast compared to what Henderson was. You know, Henderson looks a lot smaller these days. I don't know if it was because it was live view or what the deal was, but I mean, Joe Rogan was holding him up, and they were pretty much level to where it looks like Joe Rogan could put a pounding on him.
Yeah, also.
I don't know if you saw the after interview fight.
Yeah. He looked kind of small next to Joe. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And Joe said,
I mean,
Joe mentioned once he weighs about 195. So yeah, that's about the same.
Yeah.
Maybe he weighs.
And the height wasn't much difference either. So
you know what's
it really puts it in perspective knowing how big Joe Rogan is, and you put Henderson next to him.
Yeah, and then a guy like Cormier, who's like a former heavyweight, and he was throwing around people at heavyweight too, man. Josh Barnett, he ragdolled this 250-pound motherfucker, ragdolled this guy, so it wasn't really much of a surprise that, he was throwing Hendo around like that.
Oh, I'll tell you, when Cormier picked up Hendo and fucking body slammed him,
that was crazy.
That was
Did you
the
feel
fucking sound. The sound was insane. It fucking rattled the whole fucking arena. Everybody was just like, ooh, damn, you know, and you knew it was over after that. He popped right back up, but then he got fucking tripped and slammed again. And then you knew, I mean, it was over.
It was crazy shit.
You know.
And he choked him out cold in the end. He choked him out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he was done.
Yeah, he didn't even tap. He was fucking totally.
He was out. There was a lot of that. There was a lot of fucking rear naked chokes where people were just going out.
And this one submission where the guy, Ali Akinta, he was like on top of north-south position, just for the guys who know a little bit about the positions, jiu-jitsu and stuff. You know, like north-south, and the guy on the bottom, he kind of locked up a Darce choke from north-south bottom position, spun to the side, you know, turned a little bit and choked him the fuck out. He had no time to tap. So yeah, well, a couple of those completely choked out submissions on his card.
Yeah, those doctors, they run out in the arena like they're going to do something, you know, but they make it interesting. They run out there with their little white gloves on in their suits, you know. If I had a doctor coming out running after me, I'd want him to be in scrubs with the mask on, ready to go to surgery, you know. Fucking coming out in a suit and shit, worried about his fucking Armante gear. Fuck that.
Only shit they do is put a fucking flashlight in your face, you know, and check your eyes.
That's all they do. And they're like, yep, this guy's dead. Get the body bag. Fucking bag him and tag him.
Right.
These aren't fucking doctors, man.
So, yeah, what
I mean, the massive crowds there was just tremendous. 11,000 people, and we actually stayed till the very end, to where almost the arena was emptied, and I got to see TJ walk out of the arena holding up the belt. It was fucking cool, man. He was so fucking pumped that it just made you fucking so proud of him, And still on the way out, it was a motherfucker.
Yeah, let's get to the main event, man.
All right.
Just some backstory there, because Renan Barão, he was unbeaten for, what was it, almost 10 years, Lucas? Something like that, something crazy. He only lost his very first fight in his career, and then went on a 35 winning streak. So yeah, he was like a huge favorite. He had great performance in the UFC. He has beaten Uriah Faber, TJ Dillashaw's teammate, twice.
9 years, by the way. 9 years.
9 years.
He won he lost his first fight in 2005, and ever since that, only wins until now.
Yeah, won no contest, but yeah, that's not a loss, but whatever. So yeah, I mean, and then in the first round, TJ Dillashaw came out, and right from the beginning, he was hitting him and dancing around, very good footwork, so fast in and out, and good combinations. And yeah, and then at the end of the first round, he landed a huge overhand right and dropped him. Now tell us how fucking crazy went the crowd there. Did the crowd?
Everybody jumped out of their seats, of course, and he started putting a pounding on, and you thought it was over for sure, right there. I mean, big props to Herb Dean. He didn't fucking call it. He let them battle. He knew, because he was probably shocked too. He probably was like, "What the fuck is going on here?" So he probably held back for an extra minute, and most would have. So yeah, the stadium went insane. And then what happened was there was the Brazilians were on Barajo's side. They were doing their soccer chant. I don't know what the fuck they were chanting, but they were doing some pretty intense chanting. And they were all dressed in yellow. It felt like I was at a soccer event, or football, as some countries would call it. But they were scattered throughout. So they started doing their Brazilian chant. And then as soon as they finished, the people of USA, we're not going to allow that to happen in our country. So then we started going USA. And it was getting really loud. USA, USA. And then the Brazilians were doing their, hey, away, away, away. So it was going back and forth. And I really think that really pumped TJ up. And Team Alpha Male was right behind him the whole time. They were all screaming at him. And he just came out like a fucking firecracker and just went to work.
Oh yeah, it was fucking crazy. And also, after that first round, after that knockdown, when Barão was in the corner sitting on the stool, you could see in his eyes that he was fucked up. He was badly hurt. And he wasn't even looking at his coaches anymore between rounds. He looked like he was fucking confused. He didn't even know what the fuck was going on anymore. So that's,
See, that's something you definitely don't see when you're at the live event.
Yeah.
Because during that 1 or 2 minute break, you're trying to catch your lungs and your breath, and trying to get your voice back, because you're screaming the whole everybody's screaming. I mean, it's just on fire.
Yeah, and, punch like that can definitely change the rest of the fight, if you remember, I think it was Junior Dos Santos against Cain Velasquez, the second fight, when Cain hit him in the first round, a big punch, dropped him, nearly finished him. It was kind of comparable, I think, that Junior Dos Santos was on Queer Street for the whole fight. Then he was fucked up. He was just defending, not to get finished. So.
Well, I think a lot of these guys, they don't train as hard. When they don't think that somebody can beat them.
Could be.
And then all of a sudden they go in there and they get their fucking bell rocked right off the bat, and then they go into a state of confusion.
I don't think that's the case. That happened to me personally before. When you're when you're sparring and boxing, and sometimes you just don't see something coming and you get fucking hit, and then you're just on autopilot, and then you're just sitting in the fucking locker room thinking did I already train? Did I not already train? Do I have to shower? What the fuck am I doing? And I think that's the case. Because, after the first round, it was just, the most lopsided beating ever. He beat him up for the whole fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. After the third round, you knew that it was TJ's fight. All he had to do was not get submitted or get a knockout and he was going to win it, but he kept going. He did not give up. He was like, fuck this, I'm going to knock the motherfucker out. And, after, once the bell rang for the 5th, you didn't think it was going to happen, but sure as shit, it fucking did.
Yeah,
he fucking put a good pounding on him at the end.
Oh, yeah, that's
when the whole fucking arena just fucking jumped out of their seats. It almost felt like we were inside of the fucking octagon. It was fucking insane.
That's huge respect to Dillashaw for actually pressuring and going for the finish, because most guys would probably have just cruised to the win, just right out a decision, go the safe route. But he head kicked him and then dropped him and finished him. That's not.
Well, he won $100,000. He got the best fight, best knockout, I think.
Yeah, exactly. He got a big bonus too. And
deserves every penny of it.
Fuck yeah. There's not many challengers who come out and beat the fuck out of a champion like that, man. I tell you that. The last time I remember was probably, when Kane got his title back, but they had already fought one time before that, Junior Dos Santos and Kane. But also when John Jones won the title against Shogun, that was a bad beating too, man. Yeah. But it wasn't as surprising as this one, for sure.
And I didn't enjoy it.
Oh, yeah. That too.
So what do you guys think is going to happen? Who's TJ going to battle next? Is he going to fuck around with Team Alpha Male?
I don't think he's going to fight Uriah, because Uriah has a fight scheduled against Caceres, Alex Caceres, at 175, UFC 175. So...
Okay.
Yeah, not right now, but they might in the future.
Yeah. They're going to have to, right?
They might, yeah. But there's other fights, too, for Dillashaw, because... Rafael Assunção, he was actually getting the fight, and then he got injured, and TJ was just a replacement, So that's even crazy part to the story. But there's also, a lot of talk about they doing a rematch right away, Dana White said it wouldn't be too crazy to do the rematch right away, so maybe.
Yeah, I don't think
What's
so.
What's your feeling about that?
I think it's more interesting than TJ against Rafael Assunção, for sure. The more of a money fight doing the rematch. I mean, it's interesting to see how Barao comes back from that, but also it would take a while to see that fight happening, because Barao for sure needs a break now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's got some healing to do. Plus, I don't think TJ wants to give up that belt. I've seen pictures with him walking through the airport carrying that motherfucker. He's probably sleeping on it. He's not fucking around with that thing.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. If you look at his past, TJ Dillashaw's past, he was on the Ultimate Fighter and lost to John Dodson, who's now at flyweight, one division below. And he lost by knockout, and he was basically, back in the day, like three years ago, he was basically just a wrestler, He has this wrestling background, and he wasn't as good of a striker back then, got knocked out badly by John Dodson. But over the years, working with Dwayne Ludwig, their Team Alpha Male, man, he improved so much. It's crazy. And even just...
He's so fucking fast.
Yeah, and the cardio, too, to pull this off for 5 rounds, It's insane.
Unbelievable. Yeah, he was on fire in the 5th round, the same as he was in the 1st round.
Oh, yeah. And what you said about...
And he got punched a couple good times in the face.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't walk away, untouched.
Yeah, he
got an ass whooping.
He was bruised up, too, Dillashaw. He got hit a couple times, too. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What you said about Barao maybe underestimating Dillashaw a little bit, because he fought Uriah Faber 2 times and dominated him the first time, then knocked him out in the first round the second time. So maybe he felt like, already beat the best guy from this team. So, right. I mean, what the fuck, this is one of their maybe lower tier guys, not like their best guy. And he was also a replacement for Assunção, so maybe he underestimated.
Well, I think it goes both ways, like Lucas was saying too. Once you get your bell rocked, it's over. But I don't think he expected to get his bell rung. So it happened both ways. It could go wrong. It went wrong with him really quick.
Yeah, definitely.
So, he stood up to fucking TJ, and they towed up, and TJ fucked him up quick. And then that was it. He was like, I don't know what the fuck's going on here. And then
perfect game plan too from Team Alpha Male. You know, always moving, always changing angles and good footwork in and out and changing the stance too. Barao didn't know what to do. You know, he tried to attack, but Dillashaw was in and out so quick, and yeah, wasn't really hittable. You know. Then he caught.
Well, they're calling it the biggest upset ever.
Yeah, I had a conversation with a friend about that here, who's also a big MMA fan, and he said that it's the biggest upset ever, but I would say Matt Serra against GSP still, because Matt Serra was basically retired and then won the Ultimate Fighter this comeback season, and just got a title shot through that. He wasn't really much of a contender anymore, and yeah, he knocked him out. So in the first round. Was it the first round? Yeah, right? Lucas.
Well, I think people always remember just the last fight.
Yeah, definitely.
That's the main thing, you know, with the energy flowing. But it's definitely going to rank top 5 of all time for now.
100%.
Definitely.
You know,
I mean, it's
for now.
I mean, like, from just regarding the shock moment, you know, when you're like, I can't believe this shit. The worst or biggest moment was for me definitely when Chris Weidman knocked out Anderson Silva. I mean, I couldn't believe that. But it wasn't that much of an upset, like odds-wise or betting-wise, because some people were giving Weidman a big chance to beat Silva, but using his wrestling. But the way he won, he knocked him out in the first round. That was just fucking... No one expected that to happen. So, yeah, that's one of the big upsets, too, for me, Weidman against Silva. The shock moments, I would say. It was crazy, too.
Oh, beautiful fights, man. You know, the UFC is bringing amazing battles, you know, and to actually be able to witness one live and to jack the seats that I jacked.
Hell yeah.
I mean, it's just amazing, you know, just fucking once in a lifetime. But I'm sure my buddy's going to be bringing me more now because of the seats I ended up getting us, with just confidence, you know, just saying I'm fucking the King Savage of this fucking place. I belong here. And we wrote it out all the way till the last 2 fights, you know, and we really didn't mind the seats that we had when we got up there because, you know, we had the overhead view. And we were sitting with people who were enjoying the fight.
Oh, yeah.
Who wants to sit with a bunch of rich fucks who were there to socialize. There was 2 girls. I don't know how the fuck they got these seats, but they were about a row ahead of us to the right of us. And they had their phone on. I said, okay, look at these little savage chicks. They're taking pictures of the fight. They were fucking taking selfies, man. You know, tweeting it out and shit that they're fucking at a fight, but they're not even watching the fight.
You know,
they're doing their hair.
Those are just some bitches who are their rich-ass old boyfriends or pimps. They get them some tickets, you know, and they just, you know, just stand around and taking selfies. They don't give a shit about who's fighting. That's fucked up.
No, they don't. They were too busy, you know, waving to fucking Dana and fucking all the fighters who were walking by, and you know, everybody. It just seems so fake, man. You know, not even to hate on Dolce because I like what he does, but he walked around like the fucking mayor and shit.
Yeah.
You know, he was waving and shit and fucking giving hugs and kisses out. Like, who the fuck are you, man? Come on, we're fucking here to see a fight. You know, but of course I took some pictures because I fucking, you know, I respect those motherfuckers. But it's definitely a different mindset when you're in front of your computer, your TV, or, you know, I go to a lot of the fights at the station casinos because I get free invites because I gamble at their properties. So they put it on those fucking flat plasma screens, you know, and they put about 10 of them up. But to be there live and as a fan and just the experience was just, you know, remarkable. Plus, you know, I was stoned to the gills too. So I really didn't know what was going on at times because I was kind of in that shock and awe moment. You know, a lot of people that I've, you know, looked up to and admired. Plus, I was trying to see Rogan a lot, trying to give him a shout out because I had a direct view of him. The problem is he tucks down and all you can see is like the cue ball, you know, the bald head and the microphone. So it's hard to get a shout out to him, you know. And then he goes into the octagon and interviews the fighters, and then he bounces right back out and goes back into his cubbyhole. So he's really focused, and that's, like I said, that's one of the main things you miss when you're at a live event, is not being able to hear him tell you what's really going on.
Yeah. I mean, I'm fucking happy that you got such good seeds and had a good time, because that was truly one of the better cards in recent history, you know, and probably best card this year, probably. I don't know, but what up there?
That's to 175. That's gonna be a
yeah, for sure. That's coming up soon. But you know, I was pumped up when I saw you got good seats there, and you went in there and got the badass seats right down there, taking pictures of Joe Rogan, you know.
I'll tell you, my phone died about 40 minutes in there because I was tweeting them right away, and there was no Wi-Fi. All the Wi-Fi was taken up by the fucking broadcasters and all the fucking UFC guys that are fucking news reporters.
Yeah.
So at times, that's why I did a lot of double tweets too, because it just kept saying tweet not sent, send again, send again. So I just kept hitting send again, send again. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. And the next thing I know, my phone was dead. It was over.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, it sucks it down quick in that big arena. You know, you got 10, 12, 15,000 people trying to get on their 4Gs or whatever. So
definitely.
Well, it's probably better to bring a camera and then upload them later.
Yeah, we got next weekend on Saturday, we got a big UFC weekend coming up too. I mean, not the biggest cards, but actually 2 cards in one day. You know, first, UFC in Berlin, here in Germany, starts at around afternoon time in the US. And then after that, Tough Brazil, the Ultimate Fighter Brazil finals. Right after that, so it's like 12, 13 hours UFC on Saturday. It's fucking insane. 2 events in a row. Yeah.
Now, Waterboxer threw around a rumor that you were going to start doing some live podcasts of Don't Fake the Funk during the fights.
Oh, that was just, I did that with Waterboxer on Saturday for the event, but we just were Skyping and just figuring out what to do and just watching the fights, kind of like that. But I didn't record anything. But yeah, that might be a possibility. But you know, most times I'm not at home when I watch the fights. I'm out with friends, some teammates, you know, training partners, and my coach and stuff. We watch fights together. But if I'm at home, that's a possibility. Yeah, we could do that too. You know.
Yeah, it sounds like fun. Get a bunch of savages on the line and just talk shit while we're all streaming the fight.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but it's
fucking tremendous.
It's always the question: how many people would tune in if we stream it on wherever, you know?
Well, like you said, you can always record it, and if it's a good episode, then you can throw it up.
Oh yeah. Anyways, it's a fun time, you know.
Fuck yeah.
However we do it. So just to get to the upcoming cards, I mean, it's not filled with big names, but just to predict the 2 main events of the cards a little bit. For the UFC Germany in Berlin, that's Gegard Mousasi against Mark Munoz in the main event. Lucas, you got any thoughts on that?
You know, I was really disappointed with Mousasi's performance in his last fight, but Machida was just so fucking fast, you know. And thinking about how Munoz lost to Machida in his last fight, you know, I'm definitely gonna have to go with Mousasi once again. I think he's gonna win this.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Yeah, Mousasi is just too good of a striker and very rangy, you know, with his jab. He used his jab very well and also got good takedown defense from his
ground game is underrated, definitely.
Yeah, he got a judo base, right?
Sambo. He trained in Red Devil Sambo with Fader, actually.
Yeah, but he's also black belt in judo, I think, so he got some skills there too, like from the takedown defense standpoint, you know. He's not, I mean, he lost to King Mo a couple of years ago and got out wrestled, but yes, a lot of time since then, so I don't think Munoz will wrestle fuck him for 5 rounds. I don't see that coming.
No,
probably either decision for Mousasi or maybe late stoppage for 4th round, something like that. Maybe.
Yeah, that's realistic, definitely.
What's up, Token there? You got any thoughts on that?
No, I'm not going to fake the funk on this. You guys are working on rebuilding your street cred in the gambling industry after the last fight.
I mean,
so I'm going to let you guys ride this one out.
I went 3-2, so, it wasn't too bad. But
yeah, and you have to remember, one was like a freak injury, and the other one was like the biggest upset this year so far, so...
Hey, I think you guys have been on fire all year. It's going to happen. Nobody's perfect. If that was the case, we'd all be rolling in Bentleys.
And I mean, the fight before that, I was 5-5, in my pick. So
yeah,
you kind of.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm gonna let you guys roll with your picks, and I'll just put the money on them.
So, I mean, it's also if you put a little money on the fights, it always makes watching it a little more exciting.
Always. Even with all sporting events. I mean, that's, I have a sports gambling app on my phone, which is tied into a local casino. And, once a month I go down and I put money on my books, and I can make most bets right from my phone before a game, when it comes to baseball, hockey. So, I'll check what's on TV, what ESPN has going on, or, some of the main shows, and then I'll just make a wager right on my phone, and then it makes the experience just even that much better. Even if you bet $20, $30, $50,
Yeah, exactly.
Just put a little more excitement into the game. So you just pay a little more attention to it.
I had a parlay I had Jamie Warner and who else? The other guy on the main card, not Robbie Lawler. Who else fought? Misogaki, the Japanese or whatever guy. I had the parlay of these two. Yeah, and when I saw how Warner broke his foot like that, I mean, fuck. That sucked, man. That just sucked. It fucking ruined my parlay, and also sad to see a fighter lose like that. Nothing much happened in the fight. Just like a crazy injury. It's not good to see.
No. I mean, but you know what? He handled it like a soldier. He didn't want to give up. He got back up on that fucked up foot. He got kicked on it again, and then it just snapped. And then he got back up. I mean, that's where you really feel when you're at the UFC. You could feel that type of emotion right there, and that type of power, because he got back up, and then you could see his leg just fold out on him, and he fell right down.
Yeah,
and he got right back up again. He wasn't going to give up. And then I think once the round ended, that's when they were like, no more.
Yeah, he was sitting on the ground, and you could see him telling his corner and the ref too, sitting there, yeah, I can get up, I'm done. When the adrenaline is a little bit gone, you feel like,
right.
I'm done, man. Fuck this.
That's one bad motherfucker, though. You don't want to walk into him through a dark alley or something because he'll beat the shit out of you.
Hell no.
If he has that kind of power where he can limp up in the ring, and that's that's all heart. It's all heart.
Yeah, a lot of, what happens, a lot of people, on Twitter and in the media too, journalists and whatever, they were like, yeah, when something like that happens, as a corner, you got to throw the towel in, help your fighter and protect your fighter. But Joe Rogan said this too, I think, a couple times. Crazy shit can happen. He could limp on one leg and throw a fucking haymaker out and knock the guy out. Shit like that happened before. Similar shit.
Yeah, but I think, the fighter, like you said, he's wired up, man, on adrenaline.
Yeah.
So he's going to want to keep going. He's trained to be a savage in that fucking arena, The corners, the problem is they get the adrenaline going too. And they don't want to give up all that training and hard work. But you need to fight a fight that's not in it for personal gain, to protect the fighter. Because there should have been a towel thrown in. After he got the second time and the way his leg folded.
Oh, that was ugly.
Somebody should have fucking thrown a towel.
I mean, the injury just...
but the adrenaline, you can't do it to the guy. You can't stop a man's hard work just because of a small injury.
The thing is, if you break your leg like that, or your ankle or whatever it was exactly, if you kind of slip on it and bend it a couple times more, it can get just fucking worse, So who knows if he damaged it even more doing that, but I don't know. But yeah.
Well, I'm sure he did, because he stood back up and then he got kicked in the leg again.
Oh yeah, it was.
And that's where it was. That's when the damage was really done. You know, I mean, he probably would have had only maybe a month recovery time, but once he stood up and got kicked again, it looked to me, from my view, because I still had the front row seats, and it looked like his ankle was broken, because that's what kept giving out.
Yeah.
But then when he stood back up, he got kicked in the leg, and then that's when it was over.
They said it was like
leg was done.
Right above his ankle. You know, it broke it there in 2 places or whatever. Something crazy like that. But at least it wasn't his shin, like Anderson Silva against Weidman, and that was, you know, the whole leg dangling there. Oh my God.
Oh, that was nasty.
Jesus.
That was nasty. But fuck, he recovered so fast, man. You know, I mean, although I don't know if he really did or not. He put on a good show.
Yeah.
To keep the fans in his corner.
Oh yeah, you mean what?
But you haven't.
But also how Anderson Silva is recovering right now. You see little videos of him training, kicking the back and shit. Man, that's crazy. But
but you don't, you know, you're not allowed to forget that they get probably the best medical attention in the whole of USA. You know.
Definitely.
Oh, absolutely.
Anderson also.
I heard Anderson had a bunch of fucking bolts and shit through his leg and pins, you know, that were like fucking melted into his leg, give him a robo leg or some shit. Fuck around. They'll throw surgeons across the world to come and take care of him.
Yeah, I think
so. You know, when you're first class, you get treated first class.
Hell yeah. I think Dana's probably hoping that Anderson might be back for, you know, the big December show to end the year. But Anderson himself, he said he won't fight in 214, so he might early next year taking it. I think that's the right decision. Take easy, you know.
And didn't he say he still wants to fight like Roy Jones Jr. for whatever reason?
Oh yeah, that's some talk too. You know, never know what's gonna.
Well, they got to keep the hype going. You know.
Yeah, but he's speaking about this for years. I wonder what's up with this. Is this like some sort of running joke? I don't get it.
No, it's actually at some point they were close to doing it, I think, but I don't know. You know.
Yeah, but why? Where's the point?
I mean, they could make some money with that, but also.
Yeah, but he could make some money in the UFC too.
Like, yeah, he kind of wants to prove I'm also a good boxer. I can be the former champion boxer or whatever. You know, crazy shit like that. Who knows what is really his intentions are? Yeah, who knows? But I don't.
All I know is
see that
in July, Vegas on fire. Okay, Rousey fight July 5th. Then you got that badass motherfucking Joey Coco Diaz coming July 18th. Tremendous.
Yeah, that will be a fucking great card. 175, Ronda Rousey against Alexis Davis. Then, who else? Let me see. Wanderlei Silva against Chael Sonnen. Oh my god. And then
Uriah Faber versus who's he fighting?
Alex Caceres.
Yeah, right.
Then main event, Chris Weidman is Lyoto Machida. Jesus Christ.
There you go. Yeah.
That's a fucking great card. If you get tickets for that, Jesus Christ.
I don't think I'm going to. We talked about it. I don't think nobody's going to be handing those tickets over.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
I might get a job there just being an escort or something just so I can get up in there. You know, that's the one I really want to go to. That would be insane.
Oh, man.
I want to see Rousey up there jumping around and bouncing around like a savage that she is.
And maybe a titty pops out like once almost.
You know, it's just something about the way, you know, she brings magic. I would love to see her live. You know, the way she can roll, fuck, man.
Yeah, and
then everybody gets excited. I could imagine the crowd when she's in that ring. You know, everybody got worked up when the ring card girls walked around. You know, had to throw a picture out for my boy Drew. You know, he's in love with that girl. I think her name's Triana.
Ariane.
Yeah, there you go.
Celeste.
She was a sexy motherfucker, though.
Hell yeah.
Who cares?
So I got a couple extra pictures, but I saved those for me, you know, these lonely nights. So I'm not going to share that with the Twitter world.
Fuck that.
But yeah, fucking tremendous. So if people want to, you know, start looking, we actually looked online and they have tickets on sale now for the July 5th. I think it's going to go over at Mandalay Bay. It's not going to be at the MGM. So I think the cheap seats were about $300 right now.
Wow.
So book a month vacation, you know, or at least the first 2 or 3 weeks. Come out, check out UFC 175. You know, come hit the blackjack tables, donate to my city, and then check out Joey Diaz and Steve Simone. Do a comedy show. The Flying Jew will be in the house. Catch him at the local blackjack table or at the buffet chilling. You know, it's gonna be a good time, man. It's gonna be about 138,000 degrees out here during July. So bring the sunscreen, you know, a bankroll, and
yeah, people don't even want to leave the fucking casino. You know, don't want to get out and get baked, you know, in the fucking heat.
By the way,
you got to go to the pool party though.
By the way, what's like your favorite casino to go to, or like the best casino you've ever been to?
Oh man, you know, it's probably a toss-up between. I kind of like the older school ones, between the Mirage and Caesar's Palace. They're both just extremely tremendous properties. You know, the Mirage, when you check in, they have just a tank that's not even a fish tank. It's like a small ocean, you know, and they used to have the tigers running around there, and it's just such a big, massive property. And then Caesars, they got all the pimp, old school shit, you know, gladiator style shit. But even the MGM is an incredible property. They used to have a little fucking amusement park back there. MGM used to be prime in its time. So that's actually a beautiful property. And then, you know, even the Luxor pool property, shaped like a fucking pyramid, the elevators go sideways, you know, because it's a triangular building, you know, so they actually go in a sideways motion up the building. Man. You know, then you got the Excalibur with, they have the jousting fight where you eat like a savage and watch guys with swords kick each other's ass on horses and shit. You know, it's just nonstop. You know, then you can go to the north end of the strip where the Stratosphere, you know, this building's 1,100 feet high. I think it's the highest up to the Midwest. And they have they used to have a roller coaster up there, but now they have the slingshot that shoots you fucking up into the moon and back. Fucking nuts go right through your fucking throat. Then they have these rides that spin you off the fucking side. You know, just all this fucking real Death Squad style fucking ride or die type shit. And then you go down to Fremont Street where there's a big canopy and a bunch of old school casinos that have been renovated. And they have light shows and they have freaks dressed up like fucking the comic Patriot, you know, motherfuckers like Batman jumping at you, you know, a bunch of vagrants. Elvis is always around, you know, give him $1 and they fucking take a picture with you and they'll pickpocket you, take your watch, you know. But it's just fucking, it's tremendous, man. From one end of the strip to the other, there's just nonstop action, you know.
Fuck yeah.
It's something that I enjoy doing. You know, I don't go to the strip as much, you know, being a local. I try to keep it to where when I go to the strip, I'm going there for a good time, not just to gamble.
Yeah.
Man.
The local casinos, there's fucking 30 of them, you know, so that's where you go if you want to, you know, get in and get out quick with parking, you know. But I'm having a friend come down this weekend, actually, from Cali. I haven't seen him in fucking 7 years since my son was born. So I actually named my son after him, so he's finally coming out. You know, people get busy in their lives. It's hard to connect, but at least when they do come out and connect, I have a beautiful city to introduce them to and, you know, welcome them back to. So we're going to get a room on the strip, and we're going to, you know, the Circus Casino. We have the Adventure Dome. It's a miniature Disneyland. They have indoor roller coasters and all kinds of shit like that, and water rides and Ferris wheels, all indoor. So the air conditioning's going.
Fuck yeah.
Tear up a buffet. It's fucking good times, man. You gotta get your asses on a fucking plane.
Yeah, I would fucking love.
You know, as soon as I get megabucks, I'm sending fucking both you savages out here. We're gonna do a fucking live broadcast of Don't Fake the Funk at probably UFC 262, some shit like that. We'll set plans now, you know. As soon as I hit those fucking megabucks, man.
Yeah, Ronda Rousey sitting on your lap.
First class. Oh yeah, that's my girl, man. Misha Tate's hot and all, but no, I'm taking Ronda. Yeah. Have you seen Expendables 3 preview?
Yeah, man, she looks good in that movie.
God damn.
She looks good. Man.
And she can kick ass too. You know,
yeah.
What more could you ask for? But I'm sure she's not all that. I'm sure she is just like every other woman, has needs. You know.
Now we're talking.
I figure since this is a savage podcast, I can get a little savage, you know.
Sure, man.
I don't know how many women are checking it out, but shout out to the ladies. You know, I love you.
Hell yeah. So yeah, let's wrap this shit up. We're going for.
No, hold on.
Here comes Lucas. He said, "Wait a minute."
Ultimate Fighter Brazil 3 finale. We have to talk about this.
Oh yeah, almost forgot. The main event or what?
Yeah, fuck yeah. Who you got?
Fabio Maldonado against Stipe Miocic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fucking crazy fight. It was at first Junior Dos Santos against Miocic, and Dos Santos broke his hand, so freaking light heavyweight Fabio Maldonado was like, I'm gonna take this fucking fight. So apparently he called Dana and said, like, I want this fucking fight. I don't care if it's heavyweight or whatever, I'm gonna take this fight. So now, a smaller light heavyweight, Fabio Maldonado is fighting this 245-pound heavyweight Stipe Miocic in Brazil. It's gonna be fucking crazy, but I think, yeah, Miocic's gonna pound him out. I think Miocic is a very good striker, more technical than Maldonado probably. Not as wild, and yeah, I don't see Maldonado getting finished. Maybe I'm picking Miocic by decision in this one.
I'm definitely picking Miocic to fucking like TKO or KO him. I mean, he knocked the head off Stefan Struve. He fucking stood in there with Roy Nelson for 3 rounds.
Wait. Miocic got KO'd by Struve.
What? Oh, fucking shit, he did. Yeah, right. It was the other way around. Fucking shit.
Yeah. Let's get this shit straight, man.
Yeah, I got that already.
Yeah, but yeah, then you know the difference between light heavyweight and heavyweight power could be.
It's just too much.
Yeah, maybe. And
plus, like, how tall is Maldonado? Like 6 foot?
Not even. Probably not even. Maybe 5'11". I don't know.
Holy shit, man! And Miocic is like 6'4".
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's not gonna end good.
And Maldonado has been in some trouble, you know, in fights. He got hurt a lot. Against Teixeira, he got beat up badly. In his last fight, he got hit a couple times. So yeah, he took a lot of damage.
I mean, it's like not cool to say that, you know, but I'm just like, I'm really waiting for the first time he gets knocked out, you know, because I can see like, has he concrete poured into his head? Like, I don't know how the fuck he does that.
Oh man, it's gonna be interesting to see. Imagine if Maldonado wins. Jesus Christ. You know, maybe. Who knows?
I'm gonna go fucking bananas.
Yeah, I'm not even sure if I'm gonna catch this live because first the UFC Berlin event, you know, and then right after that the Brazil event. It's maybe a little too much in one day. You know, the whole day UFC watching. I don't know. We'll see.
I got a day off. I'm definitely gonna get stoned to the gills and watch it all.
Oh yeah. So yeah, let's.
And you know, I'm gonna be right there, fucking watching that shit too.
Fuck yeah.
Why not?
All right.
Why fuck around.
All right then. Let's. Very much. Thank you.
Yeah, I want to thank you, Savages, man, for having me on. It's fucking an honor and a privilege. You guys are some bad motherfuckers, never faking the funk. Appreciate what you guys do, and keep throwing out those good picks so we can make some money off you fuckers.
Hell yeah. Gonna throw it out there and see if we're right, you know, never know. But thank you for coming on. You're always a badass guy. And if you don't mind, if people wanted to follow you on Twitter, @surveillance702. Follow
the eye in the sky.
Hell yeah, follow this guy on Twitter. He's fucking badass. Always funny shit. Good guy, you know, church family. Gotta represent.
Appreciate that.
All right. Then see you next time on Don't Fake.
The Funk.